This video will serve as a replacement of class for chemistry for Thursday and Friday of the first week in case that you missed class or needed a refresher, even if you attended class. So step one, in order to do class today, you should go to the week 9 folder called the atom, and then depending on your teacher, it might be Thursday, November 12th or Friday, November 13th, lesson 1 materials. And you want to open the counting particles note sheet and assignment. So if you have that open, you can follow along on that note sheet as we complete the notes on the atom. So you guys have been doing different things about counting particles in the atom. We did a POGL and other things like that. So this is supposed to be kind of like a review and a refresher of how you can find the information on the table. And then the continuation of the worksheet is actually practicing the application of these. So you'll need a periodic table in order to complete. So the topic today is, how do I find the numbers and the particles from the periodic table? So let's review. How do I find things? Step one, how do I find what the element is or what the atomic number is? There are 2 ways to do this. Number one, you can look at the periodic table. Okay, so the atomic number is that large number in each of the boxes, and the element's name will also be in the box that you're looking at. Also, during a problem, if you're given a number of protons, that will tell you the atomic number as well as the element name. So the number of protons is the atomic number. So if I say, hey, I have an element and it has 9 protons. Well, 9 protons means the atomic number is also 9. And if I look at my periodic table, the atomic number 9 corresponds to fluorine, so that's the element's name. How do you find the average atomic mass? Well, that's on the periodic table as well. So that's the decimal pointed number that's on the table. How do I find mass number? Well, so number 1, mass number is usually given to you in a problem or as part of the isotope symbol. So mass number is not given on the periodic table just straight up. It's not there. Okay, so a problem might give you a mass number, or in the isotope symbol, it's the number on top, so the superscripted number, or the number after the dash, depending on how the isotope is written. It's also your protons plus your neutrons. So if I give you information about protons and I give you information about neutrons, if you add them together, that's your mass number. And if I've given you none of those things, then if you round the atomic mass to the nearest whole number, that would be your mass number. So on the periodic table, carbon's atomic number is 12.01. If you round that to 12, that could be your mass number to use. The mass of the most common isotope is that rounded atomic mass. So for carbon, it's 12. Okay, or like for fluorine, which is 18.99, the most common isotope is 19. So rounding to that nearest whole number, whether it's up or down, it would just be the nearest whole number. How do I find number of protons? Well, it's your atomic number, so you can just look at your periodic table to get that guy. How do I find the number of electrons? Well, there are a couple different ways. So it's not on the periodic table, but if you see a problem that says your atom is neutral, then it's the same as your number of protons. So neutral means the number of pluses, your protons, equals your number of negatives, your electrons. If it's an ion, on the other hand, so it gives you a charge symbol as part of the problem, then you would add or subtract electrons as needed. Now, it's a little complicated in chemistry in that electrons are negative. So if I'm gaining electrons, I'm actually getting more negative. And if I'm losing electrons, I'm actually getting more positive. So that is one thing that's a little weird for people. How do I find number of neutrons? Well, that's always mass number minus number of protons. And then the charge is always the difference between protons and electrons. So there is all the things to count. There's an answer key up for the rest of the worksheet in case you want to check things. That is majority of what we did in class. We also did a lot of practice together and took questions, but that is kind of the direct instruction component. Have a nice night.